Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this special session on scopes and career prospects in botany. So, what are the career prospects? Most of the audience here in the Zoom is my students, the first year students, plus few second year students too. And I have also invited some faculties. I don't know how many of them will join, and let us wait for it, including the faculties from Central University of Kerala and Central University of Himachal Pradesh. And Dr. Nitin is also here. He's a faculty at ICT, that is Institute of Chemical Technology in Mumbai. So he will also share some of his ideas on what are the career prospects in botany. So what to do after taking an MSc botany. So that all these things are what we are going to discuss today. So in case you haven't, please mute yourself, right? So that there won't be any disturbance while giving this talk. So the presentation as such will be approximately 30 minutes, and after that will be a few more points, the points that I miss out. Yeah. So whatever the points that we miss out, so the faculties will be speaking, and after that, students, you can ask any questions that you would like to know more about the career prospects. So what is the point of studying the botany? Okay, so allow me to share my screen now. Okay, I hope my screen is visible. Nitin, can you confirm?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Very good. So yeah, this is all about the scopes and career prospects in botany. So this is like just overview of the talk. So what is actually the difference between botany, plant science, and plant biology? All these concepts, and what is this Ikigai? That is a Japanese concept of choosing a career. So global challenge, trending topics, hidden gems, career prospects, and career-related advice for the MSc students. So uh, please mute all of you so I can hear some background noise. So botany versus plant science and plant biology, what is the main difference? So actually, this is nothing but a convenient interpretation. It depends on how you interpret it, but actually there is not really much of the difference. So many people think that botany is more traditional, more towards taxonomy, while the plant science or plant biology is more molecular or modern. But that kind of dichotomy is false. It's just nothing but false dichotomy. There is nothing like the difference. For example, in the UK, it's plant science usually, like Oxford University of Cambridge. But in many universities in the US or in Australia, it is botany, Department of Botany. Here in India too, for example, Delhi University or JNU has got departments of botany. So, that such definitions are spurious. Basically, these are all synonyms, plant biology or plant sciences or botany. So if you have an MSc botany, of course, you can approach your university for equivalent certificate for MS in plant sciences, and in case your job is asking you for MSc in plant biology, which is quite rare, but in case they're asking, of course, you can approach the universities for equivalent certificates. So there won't be any issues with the universities providing such equivalent certificates. So it doesn't matter much for the career. So now the point is that is botany a basic or applied? So there are so many people in the in the waiting room. So let me admit them. Yes. So is botany basic or applied? That is yet another of the conundrum that many students is having. So, but rather than this basic or applied, it's always better to check to consider the tree of knowledge as, semantic. Semantics is a branch of philosophy that deals with, what knowledge is all about, So it's always better to think that the knowledge is like a tree, a big tree, semantic tree of knowledge, in which the trunk or the main branches are basic or fundamental sciences, while the terminal branch or leaves or fruits, these are something called applied, right? So now the students are really confused. Should I go with the this applied or translational field, or should I stick with the basic field? But people tend to take it for granted that applied is always better, not rather than the basic, but that is incorrect. So unless you have sound understanding of the basic, there is no point in going for applied. Let's go back to the tree. So unless the tree, the trunks are strong, leaves and fruits, the tree can never bear, right? So it's extremely important to have a very, very strong base, right? So that is why my advice for most of the students is like, if they want to pursue a BSc or even MSc, it's always better to pursue it in fundamental sciences, so that for PhD, of course, you can actually evolve, you can actually pursue a topic which is convenient for you. It could be an applied as well. So basic field from the botany, it is mostly taxonomy or plant physiology, cell biology, biochemistry, molecular biology, genetics, evolution, ecology. All these are basic field. But now coming to the applied, it's drug discovery or material science, agriculture, plant breeding, mariculture, genetic engineering. All these are applied field. But of course, there is no point in pursuing directly the applied field. For example, genetic engineering. First, you have to have a core genetics background plus physiology background, biochemistry background, rather than going directly for the applied for the sake of getting good papers or getting career. Now the $1,000,000 question: what is really the scope of this BSc in or MSc in botany? So coming to the scope, so basically, if you simply nourish the leaf section, that doesn't lead to the fruits, right? You really have to nourish the trunks. That is why most of the discussions on scope is really hype or overrated. So instead of considering a ladder of success or scope, it's always better to imagine like a mesh or net-like structure with topics at the intersections. So basically, reticulate, or it's like an ecological niche. All our organisms are important. It's nothing like one organism is more important than the other. So every field is really important. So rather, and these are all connected. This interconnectedness is really, really important, that we take it for granted, but that should not be the case. So of course, it's a zero-sum game, because rarer field, for example, marine botany, the competition is very low in such field if you pursue, but then again, the funding is also very less. So, and now if you go with a well-known field, applied field, for example, plant breeding or agriculture or plant molecular biology, of course it has got lots of funding, but so has the lots of competition. So there is no point in going for such field just for the sake of getting more funds. Of course, the competition also quite high, so it's a zero-sum game. So now, how to choose a career? That is what the students really never thought about it. So you should have a clear view. Of course, you should have your own philosophy and value system, but also the career. So the freshers, most of you are freshers at MSc level. So the freshers might think, okay, let us procrastinate. Let us think about the prospects of career once I complete my MSc. That is not the right approach. So, ideally in the first week itself, you should really think about what to do after your MSc degree. So this is what a very famous Japanese concept of Ikigai, which I came to know when I was in Japan. Of course, is really famous, lots of books on Ikigai as well. So see, it's the career that you choose. It's not just that what you feel you love. There are 4 intersections here, 4 pi. So one is called what you love. The other one is what you're good at. The third one is what you can be paid for, and the fourth is what the world needs. So all these when are equally important. So you really need to choose a career that is at the intersection. Sorry. At the intersection of all these 4 fields, what you love, what the world needs, and what can be paid for, and what you're good at. So that's really, really important. That is what the Ikigai. So let us say you love traveling and you're good at traveling too, of course, right? I can travel, for example. Now that you can call it as a passion. Traveling is a passion. Now the same traveling, what you can be paid for. Can somebody pay for traveling? Highly unlikely, isn't it? Yes. So now what the world needs, does the world needs you to travel? Not really, right? So world would rather need you not to travel, because traveling is, of course, carbon footprint is quite high, right? So it is better not to choose such fields where it is not really the intersection of all the four different fields, Now, coming to, let us say, another example would be COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah, it is what the world needs, perfect. What can you be paid for? Yes, COVID-19, there is a huge demand. So that's something that at that intersection is called vocation, you know, or let us say teaching. Teaching, yes, the world need teachers, good teachers. And can you be paid for? Yes, teachers get good salary, in many places. And also, if you are in higher education, you get a pretty good salary as well. In the university, professors earn pretty good. So yes, that can also be called as a vocation. But are you good at it? Ask yourself. And what you love? Do you love teaching? All these are really important things to consider before choosing a career. So think about all these things today itself. Now, coming to the question about what world needs, the trend is getting more and more apparent, more and more clear that most of the crisis, the present day, everyday crisis that we are undergoing are global, transnational, not really national crisis. The challenges, for example, let it be climate change or poverty or food security, hunger or nutritious food. The demand is really profound everywhere in the world, or human overpopulation or overconsumption. This is a problem. It's a challenge everywhere in the world, except very few countries. For example, Japan. Pandemics, for example, COVID-19, biodiversity crisis, environmental degradation, water crisis, pollution like air, water, microplastics, invasive and alien species. All these are the global challenges. So if you pursue on these global challenges, and more importantly, all these global challenges these are scientific challenges too. So the scientists can address all these issues. So it's always better. I think you did a good choice to pursue in basic sciences. So a lot of opportunities are there. We just are not really sure what to choose. So for example, if you want to choose a PhD topic after your master's, so why not choose any of these global challenges? You will have very good scope. Now, coming to the global challenges, these are the emerging field. Emerging fields are directly looking to find the solution for these global challenges. For example, mitigation from climate change. The first global challenge is climate change. So how to mitigate the climate change crisis? So that is exactly this one, the emerging field. So this include the climate resilient crops. So the crops that can that are resistant to the climate change, or sustainable agriculture, how to make the agriculture a lot more sustainable, or the climate change mitigation through carbon capture and sequestration, how to capture the extra carbon from the atmosphere and how to sequester, how to convert that into biochemical energy, or even biofuel. Clean energy is, of course, a challenge. Even there are so many research going on in artificial photosynthesis. So especially in Cambridge University, I've covered many in my YouTube videos too. So clean energy is, of course, is a challenge, and there is an emerging field too. Offshore seaweed cultivation for the world hunger crisis and overpopulation. So seaweeds you can cultivate offshore. You don't need any freshwater resources for it. And also, it is also, you don't need any valuable land if you want to cultivate the seaweed in the field. And also biodiversity conservation through public-private partnership and ethnobotany. Ethnobotany is like how the culture and civilization is really interlinked with the botany. Botanical concept, for example, in Kerala, there are a lot of cow, sarpa cow. So all these are biodiversity hotspots. This is interlinked with religion. It's interlinked with the culture. And that is what, and ethnobotany is also important in traditional medicine, right? All these are a lot of scopes are there, and of course, all these fields are emerging. Phytoremediation, how to use the plants to get out the heavy metals, for example, other environmental contaminants. So there are several hidden botanical gems too. For example, normal microbiome of the plants. Not many people are working on this. It's really almost untouched hidden gem. If you really want to do a PhD, why not? check it out. What are the microbes, associated with the plants? Or the root microbes, of course, there are a lot of, research on rhizobial microflora, or how the plant growth promoting bacteria and plant growth promoting fungi. There are several papers on those lines. But other than that, the normal microbiome remains almost untouched, hidden gem. And if you pursue on that, of course, you can get very good data on it, right? And the data, of course, it could be negative or positive, but still, why not? It's a highly curiosity-driven field. And a lot of the new papers are coming on the microbiomes on the animals too. And microbiome itself is very interesting because it is a microbiome of the plant. In traditional sense, people say, okay, microbiome is something on microbiology. It's not botanist's task. And now for microbiologists, they will say microbiome of the plants. No, it is not our task. It's the task of botanist. So it's right at the intersection of these two fields, botany and microbiology. So why not? Flora at extreme habitats. I'm privileged to be part of Indian Antarctic mission. So Antarctic flora, not very many people are actually pursuing in those fields. And not just in Antarctica, why not in Arctic or Himalayas? Extreme habitats are everywhere, or deserts. All these, even extraterrestrial habitats, exobiology or astrobiology, all these are emerging fields. Paleobotany and historical climatology, you can predict the climate by looking back in time. Historical climatology, for example, cave. You can actually look at the sediments in the caves. Or you can also look at the lake sediments. So biogeochemistry, very interesting. Biology, chemistry, and geology at the intersection of all this field is biogeochemistry. You can pursue it after your MSc botany. Why not? Paleobotany, not many students are aware of it. Fossils, plant fossils. So we have a great institute here called Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleobotany in Lucknow, in Uttar Pradesh somewhere. I think it's in Lucknow. So paleobotany, again, not many students are aware of it. Paleobotany, and that institute also has got several openings. And marine botany, yes, that's a hidden botanical gem, the plants of the ocean. And botanical illustration. So if you have interest in art, if you're an artist, if you're an emerging artist, then you should pursue on botanical illustrations. And illustrations have got tremendous scopes. Ethnobotany too. I just said about ethnobotany. So that is about the culture. And that example would be on the sacred groves of Kerala, the Sarpakau, and not just in Kerala, but also in Northeast India. Especially in Mizoram and Manipur and Nagaland. So Nagaland also have got this sacred groves. So yes, this is centuries old biodiversity. So you can study about it. One good example would be Madhav Gadgil of the Center for Ecological Sciences in Institute of Science. So he spent almost his lifetime studying about all these important things, And yes, so this is what I have an experience in Antarctica. Antarctica, why not? You can also be part of the Indian Antarctic mission as well as Indian Arctic missions too. To be in these extreme habitats. And of course, a trending field. If you ask me, what are the trending fields in botany? There are several, trending fields, including artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence in taxonomy and systems biology. For example, AI can be tremendously useful while identifying the plant species. For example, you might have heard of many of these apps, Plant Identifier or Plant Snap, or Flower ID. So how these apps are developing? These are all by the artificial intelligence. So AI is also even used for museum curation. So I strongly suggest all of you, the MSc Botany students, to take up a course in AI. I have taken a MOOC course in AI, which is, if you ask me which is the best course, I can simply suggest you a very elementary course called Elements of AI. Anybody can choose that course. It's offered by University of Finland, University of Helsinki in Finland. It's a free course, including the certification. Search it out, Elements of AI, because AI has got tremendous use. Even for, as I was telling you, for taxonomy and cataloging the voucher specimen in herbariums. Data science, big data, right? And data science is also quite trending, especially in metabolomics and transcriptomics. Climate resilient crops, especially genetically modified climate resilient crops, or even crops through the plant breeding. Metagenomics and epigenetics, all these are emerging. Genome editing, CRISPR-Cas9, even this year's Nobel Prize went for it, right? Synthetic biology, yes. One of my friend, friend of mine, MSc classmate, he did his PhD from IISc Bangalore under a very famous professor. And the friend's name is, Ramesh. I think Ramesh will also watch this video because this is archived in the YouTube. With a PhD from Indian Institute of Sciences, Ramesh took a very strange decision that he don't want to go for a postdoc. He don't want to jump into academia or research, but he will instead go with the industry. So he applied and he got a job in Thermo Fisher, and now he's working on this synthetic biology in Thermo Fisher. It's a very good career, scope. Not many people are actually jumping to the industries after a good PhD. So why not? You should consider that too. Many people have this apprehension that after MSc, then only PhD is the only option. And after PhD, the only option is a faculty or scientist. That mindset we have to change. We have plenty of opportunities if you look for it. And this is a very famous quote by Darcy Thompson. He is a very famous he was a Scottish morphologist. Let me tell you that the fertile field of discovery lies, for the most part, on those borderlands where one science meets another. Those borderlands, those intersections of the pie, where one science meets another. That is the fertile lands of discovery. Look at that, the rhetoric, right? So, yes, on growth and form, that is his famous book. I strongly suggest everybody to have a look at that, on growth and form by Darcy Thompson. So evergreen fields include plant taxonomy, plant ecology and conservation, plant evolutionary biology, plant pathology. So if you choose any of these field, opportunities are always there, immaterial of the time, today or after even 100 years. Yes, all these fields are evergreen. And now coming to the career prospect, after what to do after an MSc degree, of course, the faculty positions are always there, right? Teaching, research, and more. So a faculty position will let you explore your own creative side. One example would be my own personal example. I've been working here in Central University of Punjab for 10 years now. And I even have just a pet idea about, well, I've been working on this, the DNA barcoding and phylogenetics. Then why not extrapolate that into the languages, how languages evolve? So I applied for this idea to the Indian Council of Social Science Research on, historical linguistics. I have no background on linguistics, so I have to take a course on MOOC offered by University of Leiden in the Netherlands. And I applied for this project in ICSR. I got it. I just completed that project. So this kind of flexibility you will get only if you choose faculty positions, and of course a lot of positions are now coming up in new central universities. Yes, scientist is another position in ICAR or Botanical Survey of India or CSAR institutes. But yeah, bureaucracy is rampant, of course, in the faculty also. Yes, but another main issue is the pressure to execute an institutional mandate. The institutes have got their own mandate, and you would be asked to execute that mandate. Not much creativity, but of course, if you can align yourself with the institute mandate, there is a lot of scope for the creativity as well. And minimal or not teaching. So if you really don't like teaching, of course, yeah, some people don't like teaching. Accept it. So in that case, the scientist position would be more convenient for you. And another option is startups or consultation. Terraria, for example, how many of you know about Terraria? So I traveled extensively in many countries, and especially in the Western Europe, as well as in US or Canada or Japan. This Terraria is very common, especially Terraria with moss in it. These are like souvenirs, herbaria as a bookmark. I mean, ideas are really vast. If you think about it, you can see that organic farming, composting, so, and kitchen gardening, all these things. All these things are there. You can be a consultant for all these things. So if you look at like the base package, the faculty is approximately 80,000 to 2.8 lakh per month as of now. And for scientists, it's a little bit lesser, 60,000 to 2.5 lakh. And for industries, it's really range is extreme, 30,000 to even 4 lakh rupees per month. It all depends on which position and which industry you are in, you know. So yes, so it all depends on you. So other government jobs you can try is botanical garden management. We have several botanical gardens. If you ever been to Kolkata, I strongly suggest you to have a look at the SN Bose National Botanical Garden. You know, that's a fantastic botanical, especially the big banyan tree. You know, massive tree. So the management of the botanical garden, there are several positions coming up. Herbarium curator. Even Kolkata has got Central National Herbarium, and many of the cities have got herbariums in India, you know. Yes, index herbarium, listed herbariums. And these herbariums need curators, museum curators. Yes, that is yet another natural history museum curator. We have a natural history museum in New Delhi. Our friends there, they shifted the job from BSI to the curator of the Natural History Museum, a botanist, you see. So you can apply for it. You can take short course on museum curation so that you can improve your chance of getting admitted in such positions. Not many students are aware of such careers, you know. And coming next is in the private sector, pharma, drug discovery and industries, there are several positions available, you know. Or even by why pharma and drug discovery, because pharmacopoeia is all based on plants. Even in the modern medicine, some people call it as allopathy, though it is a derogatory term. Modern medicine, almost 90% of the drugs that we use, including the aspirin or digoxin, whatever the drugs you say, 90% are from the plants. So botanists have got a lot of scopes. Don't be shy that you don't have a pharma degree. It doesn't matter. You can apply for a position in the pharma industry too. Biofuel industries. Yeah, biofuel is basically plants, right? Plant-based or seaweeds, no? All these are marine plants or terrestrial plants. So a lot of options are coming up, you know. Mariculture. Mariculture is basically farming the seaweeds, offshore farming. Yes, options are wide open. Even my own friend, you know, after retiring as a professor at ICT, Professor CRK Reddy has started up, you know, his own, he's working in an offshore farming sector. His student is here with us today, so he can share his own experience as well, Dr. Nitin. Carbon capture firms. ExxonMobil, for example, many of these multinational companies have started having industry, interest in carbon capture and sequestration. So positions are wide open. So for which you have to read the New Scientist or Scientific American's career column. Even Nature and Science feature career column. You know, so you can look at the career and you can apply for it. Multinational firms directly. Even current science, Indian science magazines do have a column with opportunities. And plant pathologist, plant pathology is it's an evergreen field. Always, if you pursue on plant pathology, the disease ICAR, for example, employ a large number of plant pathologists. Food technology, yes, food technology. Botanists are eligible for a large number of positions in food technology industries too. And scientific instrumentation firms. One of my own student, Ashish Pandey, after his basic BSc degree here in Central University of Punjab in MSc, he applied for Nikon and he got in because, of course, you will be using microscope as part of your everyday, practical skills. So in any field of biology for that case, right? So you can apply for scientific instrumentation firms, electrophoresis or the microscope or even the spectroscopy. Why not? You can apply for it. Yes, even synthetic biology. I just shared the story of Ramesh Vaidyanathan. So he's now working in the Thermo Fisher after his degree in biochemistry. So science journalism is yet another field that not many students are aware of it. After a MSc in botany, you can pursue as a science journalist or a science communicator. as a full-time career. Many of these leading dailies have got science journalists. One good example would be Prasad, my friend. Prasad Ravindranath, he did his PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, in biochemistry again. And after that, what did he do? He got a job. He applied for a job in Hindu, leading, the media. And now he's working as the chief science editor of the Hindu. Why not? This is also a very good option for many of the students, if you are really interested in journalism. So this is what I just told, just going back, start up some of these ideas. I mean, it all depends. If I were the one who want to go for a startup, then probably I will go with this sort of stuff, which I like, is close to my heart. For example, if you just want to get some nice looking, bookmark, for example, Amazon have plenty. Amazon, many people are actually selling floral bookmarks. These are nothing but herbarium sheets, original herbarium sheet. Also, you can sell it, and or scientific illustrations as a bookmark. A simple idea, but it can fetch you. Look at that, such a beautiful, profound bookmarks. If you start a company that manufactures this kind of bookmarks, you can be rich. The startups or this entrepreneurship is just like, it's all about the chance. If you're really lucky, luck plays a major role in it, of course. This is how it looks like, most terrarium. As per my understanding, not a single firm are available in India who actually manufacture this kind of moss terrarium. If you're interested, then you just have to link up with the glass blower, glass industry, which blows this kind of very good looking, the containers in which you can grow this terraria, as a souvenir. Yes, why not? All these are ideas for everybody. So now some suggestions for the MSc students include, if you want to jump into the industry, do an internship on trending industry relevant topics at an industry. That's really important. Look at an industry and do an internship on this trending topic. So for that, of course, you have to grab a good industry job, and to get this good industry job, you really need a lot of social contacts. So for that, you have to be active in LinkedIn to connect with other business networking and other people who are really into the industries. And I think I would advise you, a good starting point would be the alumni list. Here in Central University of Punjab, we have excellent alumni. They are in different kinds of industries. So you look at this alumni list and look at what they are doing right now, and contact them for their help to get into the industries, so to foster new connections. So in industries, the social contacts really matter a lot. And if you want to be in academics, that is what I'm sure majority of you will be interested in, I strongly suggest you to go for a 2-month summer internship, in the summer months. So the most well-known and most prestigious summer internship program of the country is SRFP, that is Summer Research Fellowship Program of all 3 science academies. That is actually by the Indian Academy of Sciences in Bangalore. And also try to get a mini paper, that means publish an article, about what you did during the summer, the internship period. Many of the students are getting a small paper, a mini review. And yes, dedicated, consistent preparation for the NET JRF is really important if you really want to get into the academics. So basically, an MSc degree alone will not suffice. You need to have a PhD. For which you have to clear the NET JRF. And for the MSc project, many of the universities have got, here in Punjab as well, Central University of Punjab, we have an MSc project that is basically a dissertation. For that, try to get a novel idea and try to get a paper out of it. Instead of choosing a topic which somebody else have already done, there is no prospect of publishing a paper out of it. Try to choose a topic which nobody in the world have worked, so that you can improve your chance of getting a paper. And familiarize with the PhD entrance format of various institutes, for example, ISER, or IIC Bangalore. Different institutes have got different formats. So familiarize it right in the first year. And I suggest you to feed application deadlines in the Google Calendar. That is my favorite time-saving tactic. So, this year's deadline and next year's deadline would be almost identical. So if you feed that this year's deadline as a recurring event, next year around this time, you will be getting reminders. Apply for this, this PhD's position at this institute so that you will not miss out. Otherwise it will be a regret for you that if you miss out the deadline. So various institutes in the first year itself. So do that in first year of the MSc itself. And yes, this is the Summer Research Fellowship Program, SRFP of the Indian Academy of Sciences. Last year, one Mr. Arvind K from Central University of Kerala was with me through this program. You can apply for this program even now because this year's deadline is 10th December. You still have a little bit more time, not 2 weeks. Usual deadline is 30th September, but because of COVID-19 situation, the deadline has extended. To improve your chance of getting selected, I suggest you something called Fellowsync. Fellowsync means look at the fellows of the Indian Academy of Sciences and Indian National Science Academy, as well as National Academy of Sciences in India in Allahabad. So in IASC Bangalore, INSA in New Delhi, and NASC in Allahabad. So they have a lot of fellows, and look at a fellow who is working on the field that you would like to pursue. For example, if you want to work on lichens, DK Uprati from National Botanical Research Institute (NBRI) in Lucknow is a well-known name, and he's also a fellow of Indian Science Academy, the National Science Academy. So like that, you look at that. Okay, now you found out this person is working on that field, and you would like to work with that person. Then you write a proposal. There is a short write-up. I think it's around 500 words. Just write what you want to work on, targeting that specific fellow, and then apply. And you can, of course, contact the fellow beforehand. All these things will dramatically improve your chance of accepted in this prestigious program. As an MSc student, I also got this. In those days, it was called Indian Academy of Sciences Summer Research Fellowship Program. And I was working with SWA Naqvi, Professor Naqvi, then director of NIO Goa. And during this 2-month period, I got the golden chance of going on a cruise, on ship cruise. And I crossed the equator. I went near the, this Australia and came back. That was an amazing experience in my life. That really helped me, that kind of molded my own research career. That I choose, okay, I really want to pursue on marine field. Then I chose the marine biology for my PhD. So all these things are really important, adequate exposure this 2 months of the Summer Research Fellowship Program. And if you want to aspire in the science journalism, take Science Journalism MOOC, massive open online course. Even the paid MOOC, there are several, MOOCs are available even from Ivy League Institute like Harvard University and Yale is offering a science journalism. Of course, you have to pay approximately 4,000 rupees, but it's worth. I tell you, it's really worth if you be an aspiring science journalist. So try to get some popular science article published also. We have very interesting popular science magazines like Dream 2047 by Vigyan Prasad, DST, Government of India. I write often in that. And Resonance, Science Reporter, and regional magazine too in your language. For example, in Malayalam, Shastra Keralam and Eureka, Shastra Gati, all these are magazines. I'm sure in your, whatever the mother tongue you are in, you can see this kind of science magazines. Try to get the science related opinion piece published in national or regional newspapers, and for that, my suggestion would be look for a science related observances, UN observance or national observance, for example, National Science Day coming up in February, and submit a piece 3 weeks before that event. So about that Science Day or whatever the observation coming up, could you please mute, all of you, please, those who haven't muted, please mute. Yes, so that is really important. So look at the observance coming up and write a piece for that observance. Create science related YouTube videos of some value. That is what I do. I'm also a part-time YouTuber. I've got lots of subscribers, almost 13,000. Of course, if you have a lot of subscribers, you can earn a lot. I'm not earning anything because I'm not really into money making. There is no ad in my YouTube videos, but why not? If you are a freelancer, you can start. YouTube itself is a money-making enterprise for many of the emerging communicators, science communicators. For example, channel of David Attenborough has been subscribed by crores of people. Botanical illustration is a very good field if you are into the arts. For that, my advice would be take up an illustration MOOC. Of course, Ivy League institutes also have got illustration MOOC, even though it is paid. It doesn't matter. And also, I suggest you to take an illustration. Illustration is coming up now. Every kind of almost entire botanical illustration is happening in digital platform, for which you really need a vector graphics. Adobe Illustrator, for example. I have taken course Adobe Illustrator from lynda.com. Of course, it is excellent, but quite expensive, but it's worth it, I tell you. Illustration comes really handy. Even when you are writing a review article, or writing a proposal for grants, you might need to make a very nice illustrations. All this comes in handy. And start with mimicking the styles of famous illustrator. If you are a budding artist or budding illustrator, it's always better to mimic them first. Later, invent your own style. That's a good tip. And get a mentor among illustrator or artists. So a mentor can guide you how to become a better science illustrator. And for entrepreneurs, I already gave you some tips, and now more tips. Business management or marketing MOOC. Even though it's paid, it's worth it, I tell you. Learn about the crowdfunding, how crowdfunding happens. So in case you don't have any money, no problem. You can go for a crowdfunding, to start up a firm. And also look for the incubators at IITs. DST have done excellent job of creating several, incubators where you can do the startups. So look up it. So, and also have a LinkedIn profile to take full leverage of social media for the business networking. It's really important. And also get a mentor who has successful startup. If you know somebody who is your mentor who already have a successful startup, take it, get a mentor like that. And very important, understand that failures are part of success. It's not the opposite. Many people think failures is opposite of success. Flip side, not really. Failures is part of success, especially for startups. You will fail, but fail better each time. You learn from your failures and then uh, do that, explore more. That is what the entrepreneurs are always doing. For PhD, of course, a PhD from abroad, especially the G7 countries, is definitely an asset, a lifelong asset. G7 is the group of 7 strong economic countries: Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, and US. These are the 7 countries you should target for. And of course, Ministry of Education nominates for the foreign scholarship. Not many students are aware of it. And complete money is taken by these foreign governments. I'm an alumni of MEXT, which is a prestigious Japanese government program. And also Commonwealth Scholarship Program, Cambridge Nehru Program, Italian government, Swiss government, New Zealand government. So many programs are there. The students are not really aware of that. Many people think, okay, to get a foreign PhD, you really need a lot of money, and there is no entrance test, no test is required for it too, no GRE, no TOEFL is required. All expenses are paid, including the return air tickets. And even 1 month extra money upon arrival. When I went to Tokyo, first flight in my life, when I arrived there, I got the first money extra. That is what this is all about. Yes. And if you are from SC, ST, or OBC, Ministry of Social Justice also have got overseas scholarship for minority students. So this money is paid by the Indian government. So this is how the page looks like. The Department of Higher Education, Government of India's website. Several scholarship schemes available. So I'll take a break right now. So in case of some query, we will actually take up now. So the faculties here can always. You can unmute and you can talk.
Excuse me, sir, please say something about applied microbiology.
Applied microbiology, well, it's a microbiology field, but yes, Applied microbiology means application of the microbes, including the industrial applications, fermentation technology, or even genetically modified recombinant microbes. Yeah, the scopes are really vast microbiology too. Yeah.
So do
It's
they
a very
deal in government jobs or
general
any
question.
industrial jobs?
Yes, industrial jobs, including the, for example, dairy jobs, or, the wine wineries, all these things. Yeah, the scopes are really wide for the applied microbiology too. Yeah.
I would like to answer the questions about applied microbiology. There are huge scopes, and if you really want to, go into industries, several. I think all the industry, biotechnological industries, have a course for the microbiology because it comes, where the quality control comes, there is a role of the microbiology. So, like as Dr. Felix mentioned, that in beverages industries, food industries, and I think almost all the industries who is making the products from the biological resources, they have the this microbiologist post in their company.
What are the scopes of a master's in environmental sciences?
Pardon?
So, master's in environmental sciences.
Hopes it depends, it depends in which subjects you are, you have done your BSc. Scopes are there, as Dr. I think Felix have mentioned, several fields are there. So it depends whether you want to do, the basic research or advanced research. So if you are interested in like algae or ecosystem or forestation, so it comes under basic science. And without understanding the basics, I think it is very difficult to translate it into the product or at industry scale. So you have to select the good institutes for maybe for masters as well as for PhD. Like if I talk about botany or plant science, then NBRI, then NIPGR, ISBT, which is a CSI laboratory. Then there is a Institute of Bioresearch and Sustainable Development, IBSD, Imphal, Northeast. Then CSIR, CSMCRI is also doing a good research, and this ISER, ISER institutes. So several institutes, good institutes are there. So scopes are also there, but you have to go through these top most institutes, website, and you have to go through the profile of the faculty. Then you will have the idea about the research interest of the individual faculty, as well as the details are about the scopes and the courses on the environmental sciences given on the website. So it's always better to explore the things on the website.
Okay, so I will ask, Nitin. Nitin, can you share your own experience, because you have been working in the field of you have been
Yeah,
working in the field of the seaweeds, right? So in CSMCR, you did a PhD. So maybe you can just brief about the industries in the seaweed sector too, including
yeah, sure.
agaros and carrageenan. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, sure. Because if you have, I think if researchers, students have seen my talk, my science profile. Basically, I did my graduation and post graduation in microbiology, and then I entered into the entirely different field, which is seaweed biotechnology. Of course, it also includes the some part of the microbiology, but this is how you have to shift your career depending on your interest and the opportunities. So from I think last 11 years, I am in the field of this seaweed biotechnology, and I have worked on the different aspects of the seaweeds, starting from the seaweed sample collections, then their this culture conditions, growth optimization in the laboratory, and then extraction of the value-added products like protein, carbohydrates, and this sulfated polysaccharides in a biorefinery model. And I have also used this seaweed cellulose for the production of ethanol, bioethanol, and then seaweed cellulose based paper, seaweed cellulose based films, biodegradable films. So this I have worked at the CSNCRI, and currently at ICT Mumbai. Now I am working on the translational research of the seaweeds. So scopes are there, and I think several industries are coming and taking interest in the seaweed based products. If I talk about the industries in India, then aqua agri is there, which cultivates the kappa ficus and the gracilaria and all, for the production of carrageenan and all, and agar gracilaria, obviously gracilaria for the agar. Then, as Dr. Felix said, my PhD guy, Dr. C.R.K. Reddy, has now joined one NGO, who is funded by the company. So he's exclusively, involved in the offshore cultivation, in the Kutch region of the Gujarat. Then apart from that, Pidilite, Excel, these are some industries which are working extensively on the seaweeds cultivation as well as the seaweed based products. So scopes are there, but yeah, it as the number of researchers are very less and facilities less, then competition is less, but you have to work hard, because this is an emerging field in India, and if you really, scopes are there, but yes, for that you have to put, hard work and your efforts, and I think in coming years, seaweed is going to be, the next generation feedstock for the production of all kind of bio-based products. Asian countries and European countries are using seaweed-based products in their daily life. But in India, I think we have a mentality issue or a social taboo. That's why we are not using the seaweed-based products. But I think in coming 5 or 10 years, I think there will be an increase in the seaweed-based, products in our life.
Okay, thanks a lot, Nitin, for this. And we also have Professor Arunkumar. He is the head of the Department of Botany at Central University of Kerala with us. Professor Arun is also very well known cyanobacteriologist. He is also working in the field of algae. So over to you, Professor Arun.
Thank you, Felix, Dr. Felix. I am very happy that you are arranging a very wonderful meeting for our botany students. Actually, this I heard the talk given by you, and you almost covered all the field where the botany students can enter, they can prosperous. What my suggestion is that for the MSc students, actually, when you are studying your program, as Professor Dr. Felix told, you should have some strong knowledge in either physiology or biochemistry or biotechnology or gene transfer, whatever it is. So when you have a vertical knowledge in the subject, automatically you have to take a very good dissertation work under any under your institutional teacher, or as Dr. Felix indicated, you can also go for external project training, summer trainings. So such a kind of training will give you a enhanced knowledge. And what actually I emphasize you, as a botanist, you can touch any field, you can enter into any field, from teaching, research, as the modern teaching in online teaching also. So there is no disparity of botany students cannot enter into any field. You can enter into any field and you can achieve, you can success. As Dr. Felix pointed out, so many points he covered. He's a very informative lecture given by him to the students. I am so happy that students are were exposed to all kind of potential field available for botany students. And what I am telling here is, please focus any one subject deeply, any one course very deeply in your MSc program, and you aim accordingly what you want to become. Or you become a researcher, as he told, you can do research in here, or you can go to research abroad. So there are a lot of opportunities, and how you are skillful, how you are improving your knowledge than the others. I think he covered everything. I cannot, I need not tell anything. But as he told that, fortunately, he is also algalogist. I am also algalogist. Since I studied in the past, some years, some 20 years back. What here I tell you, you can do research or you can do teaching, but you should have a strong foundation in the subject knowledge. That is only way. When you are studying MSc, you should acquire it. You should have a vertical knowledge in the subject. Then only you can prosperous either in the career as a teacher. Teacher means any even conventional teaching as well as modern teaching, because I think, Dr. Felix, myself, a colleague in MOOC teacher, as a MOOC, we are operating the MOOC course. So even the botany teachers can enter into energy field, nanotechnology field, drug discovery field. So it depends on how you are furthering your deep knowledge in the subject. So botany will give you a basic, broad, and overall understanding of the biology. So it is no doubt. At the outset, in a conclusion, I thank Dr. Felix. Very wonderful arrangement of this kind of talk to our young students. With this, I conclude my talk. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Felix.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Professor Arun, for joining. And Professor Arun's, he's offering a course in UGC Swayam. MOOC is called Biomass Characterization, I guess.
You are right.
And I think it's open for enrollment course. I hope you have created for the next batch.
So can we get the recording of this session?
Yeah, it's archived in YouTube. No problem. Don't worry about it. Yes. Do you have any other questions? Please ask any of the questions, or you can add us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Felix, I want to add some information as the discussion is going on the botany and all. I don't know how many of the students or the faculty knows about the startup known as the Fool, flower Fool. So I just want to know some information about that startup. Fool is the world's first profitable and lean solution to the temple waste problem, and they collect 8.4 tons of the floral waste from temples in Uttar Pradesh, India on a daily basis. These flowers are handicrafted into charcoal-free incense, organic vermicompost, and biodegradable packaging materials through flower cycling technology. And after this startup, they have recycled 11,060 tons of the flower, collected from the temple in the Uttar Pradesh. They have employed, given employment to the 73 women, full-time employment, and 11-ton pesticides they have offsetted, and 19 children started, schools from this benefit of from this startup. So it is a very wonderful idea, though it is not a rocket science, just a collection of the flowers from the different temples of the Uttar Pradesh, and generating this.
So how can one be the volunteer, or like if anyone wants to participate?
Akansha, what is your question?
So if one wants to work with this Fool, then how can it's possible? Like I'm from Uttar Pradesh, and if I want to join their startup, then what is the procedure?
Join what? I'm not
So I
getting
think
your. Okay, that flower thing. Okay. Yes, go ahead, Nitin. You're muted, Nitin. Nitin, you have to unmute. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. So, did you get any? I talk about the full. So there is a
No,
startup.
no. Yeah.
Okay. So just sorry. I will share again the information about that startup. So it is a startup known as the Fool flower made from the temple flowers. So it is basically the flowers are collected from the temples in the Uttar Pradesh, and they collect around 8.4 tons of the flower waste from temples in Uttar Pradesh on a daily basis. And out of these flowers, they are making charcoal-free incense, sticks, then organic vermicompost and biodegradable packaging materials. And after this startup, they have recycled 11,060 tons of the flower. They have given employment to the 73 women, full-time employment, and 11-ton pesticides offsetted after this startup, and they have given education to the 19 children. So I just wanted to, convey that the startup doesn't require, big idea. So if you have a small idea, but it is interesting, and if you are confident that it will get a success, then you can do wonders with the small idea as well.
Yes, ideas matter immensely in startup. Yeah, you don't really don't need to be like a huge investment. Many people think that it's a big roadblock, that I'm not rich, so I cannot have this this one. But that is not the case. Even though you don't really have much money, and even for the investment, the start of course startup need a capital, some money. So for that, there are actually two options. One is cloud funding. I just explained. Cloud funding means everybody through internet donates for the starting up. Of course, it's something like, if you become rich, you have to give back. Second option is IIT. IITs have got incubators, startup incubators. So that is yet another good option. No, DST has got new programs to foster these incubators. So I will just, wind up my talk as well. Few more slides are left. So let me complete that one. So first is if you are targeting for a foreign PhD, I suggest you to prioritize the countries that win Nobel Prizes than simply rich countries. Those countries which wins a lot of Nobel Prizes include Germany, United Kingdom, United States, and Canada, Japan, France, Switzerland, Netherlands, Scandinavia, including Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland, and Italy. These are the countries, rather than the countries that simply rich and they have options including Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea, or Hong Kong or China. They do have scholarship, but not really Nobel. The reason is that, of course, it matters quite. It actually help you to shape your research career. If you really want to go to the US or Canada, then graduate record examination is really important, of which the general test is the most important thing. General test is for 3 hours and 45 minutes. It consists of three things. One is analytical writing for an hour. It will ask you to write 2 essays, 30 minutes each, on with a cogent argument and good English. Good English is really important. And then the vocabulary, verbal reasoning for 1 hour, science sequence, text completion, reading comprehension, all those things. And finally, arithmetic for an hour and 10 minutes. That is really easy, arithmetic. So vocabulary is really tough in this GRE. So vocabulary means, all the words. You really have to learn all kinds of words for clearing this GRE. And admission, that is a very interesting thing about US and Canada, is admission is completely based on GRE. Even if you're a born American, you have to compete with Indians and Africans, because it all depends on your GRE score, And of course, you have to qualify TOEFL also, but only cut. So reading, listening, speaking, and writing, these are the sections. Usual cutoff is 80 out of 120. And if you want to go to Commonwealth countries, UK and New Zealand, Australia, and all, IELTS is another exam which you can consider, TOEFL and IELTS. Now, how about self-financing mode, the PhD? It's not worth, because it's so very expensive. 1 crore rupees per year from your pocket. It's simply not worth. But there are some countries that offer completely free, including Germany and Scandinavia, including Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. Because there are social democratic countries, completely free, 100% free education for everybody. these countries, so including the PhD. So you can pursue it. If you get an option from Norway, for example, why not? It won't cost you much. So if you want to go for a PhD from India, of course, it's a very good option because we have got excellent institute. Of course, it depends on the perception. In my case, my perception, the best option is TIFR, that is in Bombay, and NCBS, that is also TIFR firm, that is in Bangalore, and IISc Bangalore. If you get a PhD from any of these top tier institute, that PhD is really worth, even better than the foreign PhD. Why not? So try for it. Aim for the best place for a PhD. Second best is a large number of ICERs in this science education research. ICER Mohali, we have one ICER in Punjab. ICER Pune or ICER Kolkata are very well known ICERs, and we have so many new ICERs coming up. If you get a PhD position in any of the ICER, go for it. It's really worth. Third will be the central universities, including our center. Ours is the best, the top ranked central universities in India consistently for many years. CU Punjab. And other research institutes also, you can try DST, DBT, ICAR, and CSAR. All these are kind of similar, third level. And for engineering related are really best. For example, mechanical engineering, even computer engineering, yes, but not for pure sciences. IIT, are not really the best place for pure sciences. Then for pure science, the fourth level would be the state government universities. So for example, Punjab University in Chandigarh, that is a state government university which is doing excellent, in terms of research. And finally, how about PhD from private university? I will not recommend, because in India, there are a lot of corruption and mismanagement. Even there are private universities which will give you degree PhD if you pay money. Then what is the point of getting for it? So that is not, again, it's a highly depends upon the person. It might vary from people to people, but in my perception, a PhD from private university is not worth trying for. So what is the chances of improving the chance of a PhD? Of course, you have to qualify CSA or JRF, which is a benchmark test for the PhD studentship here in India. And do a quality summer internship with a well-known scientist, and publish a paper, even a review article during your internship, and also for the master's project. And take a relevant online course, MOOC through UGC Swayam, which I just said, or edX Coursera or FutureLearn. There are several MOOCs are available that will also improve your chance of getting accepted. And get a mentor and get her or his help with your research for the positions, the PhD positions. Get a mentor who is an established scientist, which will definitely improve your chances. The person can guide you, better than trying in vacuum. So we have our own project in Young Academy of Sciences. VISL is a virtual internship with science leader. You can apply for it. Next call is expected in December. It's completely free. 2 months of internship we have it. And to qualify the CSA or JRF, there are several tips. Of course, the CSA or JRF is 3 hours, 200 marks. As you know, there are 3 parts. Part A is general science, quantitative reasoning, and research aptitude, 30 marks. 15 out of 20. Then part B is the main subject, which is life science, for example, and 35 out of 50. Again, choice is there, 2 marks each, 70 marks total. Part C is the knowledge of a scientific concept or application or scientific concept. So it's more or less a practical problems, and these are really important because bulk of the mark goes for the part C, 100 mark. So if you qualify part C and part B alone is sufficient for you to qualify the JRF. Of course, a lot of chances are there in the part C. Attempt only 25 out of 75. Each question is 4 marks. That's why 100 marks. So it's really important. So several books, you can have a look on this list of books recommended for JRF net exam. And if you have a senior, just ask the person. My students, there is your own lady, senior, Sarbani, and others have qualified when they are in the first year of MSc. So ask them, how did you qualify the JRF? They qualified JRF, not even just simple net. So what were their winning strategies? All these are recommended books, get hold of all these books, and consistent preparation is really a key. My general tips include dedicated consistent preparation. That is really a very important tip for qualifying JRF as well as GRE. I have both. I qualified JRF when I was in the first year of my MSc in Madras University, long back. And thoroughly cover the syllabus and related topics. Really important. Get the latest syllabus and try to cover as many topics as possible. That's really important for you to clear the JRF exam. And check the previous year's question paper. Do timed mock test. Not many students are doing that. Timed mock test, because the time is important. And if you take it for granted, and if you take it lightly, oh, I can do it, but no, you cannot, especially GRE and JRF exam. You should do the timed mock test. And also, if you want to face an interview, I suggest you to give an interview, mock interview in front of mirror, presentation in front of mirror. All these are really important tips that students, don't follow. That is the issue. GATE is another test, but offers no fellowship. GATE has no fellowship. So, it can be, a test that you can try it out in case you want to go for a PhD from the IITs. So, but still you can avoid, not a big deal. Better option is to concentrate on the JRF. JRF, you can go anywhere, including IITs or ISRO or IASC, all these things. So GATE is entirely optional for you. So improve your vocabulary in English communication. That's really important, not just for JRF or GRE. Any job you take, friends, this is really important. Your vocabulary and English communication, for which even if you're really bad in communication of the English, take up the course. Not problem at all. Take up a basic course, a MOOC on how to communicate effectively. And subscribe to podcasts to keep up to date with the science. I keep on telling my students, Naked Scientist is a very good podcast. It will help you two ways. One is that it will help you to keep up to date with what is happening in the world of science, but it also will help you to improve and enrich your communication skills. So that is why podcast is really important for science students. My suggestion is 2 podcasts to start with, and it's from Cambridge University, and NPR Science Friday by National Public Radio of the United States. It's like our All India Radio. So also learn to manage the time efficiently. For all these things, you really need to manage your time, get rid of the distractions, all those things. So, and also how to communicate in good English. So I have actually written extensively, for example, this is one of my articles in Medium, how to, the crux of academic writing. I think I've already shared that link to all of you. In case you haven't, check out my Slack channel. And you just Google me, those who are not my students who are attending this talk over the YouTube, just Google me, and you can see even in the YouTube, I have created some videos on how to write good academic articles. The crux of time management and personal productivity, 2-part series, completely free. Go and check it out. And also this video, the crux of academic writing, and also several books, completely free. Most of these MOOCs, including our MHRD, the Ministry of Education MOOCs, are free. Of course, you have to pay some money, but in case you pass, then that money will be reimbursed to you. So it's really good. And yeah, that's it. Any further questions or clarifications required?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Chinmay.
Sir, as you told, for applying for that summer research fellowship program, can you please elaborate how to give that write-up? Like, as you told, we have to choose under whom we need to work and all. I didn't get that. Like, what exactly we need to do?
So you go to the Indian Academy of Sciences, this page where you apply, and in that one there are mentors. You cannot simply work with anybody in India. There are approved mentors with whom you can work with this internship. You have to target one person in this mentor list. For example, if you like dogs, or plan dog thing, then I have a friend in ISER Kolkata, so you can work with Anindita. So she's also an approved mentor of that list. So look at that approved mentor. Usually these mentors are fellows or associates of the Indian Academy of Sciences. So those fellow, you have to look at one fellow and align with your interest. So definitely, if you are interested in marine biology, for example, Nakvi could be a good option. Professor Nakvi from National Institute of Oceanography. So aligning your interest with your mentor is really important, and write a write-up on that topic, that exact topic. That is what you have to do.
Okay, sir.
Any further
Thank you.
questions? Yeah. Yeah. Any further questions?
Sir, can we really apply for summer research fellowship this year, as we have COVID and all that? The year may be pushed forward. Can we apply this year, or should we wait for the next year?
Yeah, I think it's see, first of all, if you look, Goti, the eligibility is basically the first year students. So MSc first year, I'm not really sure about your, next year at this time, you will still be considered as a first year student, or will you be in second year? So chances are high that you will be in second year. So it's only for the first year students eligible. So you have to think about it. So I think you should apply right now. This call is appropriate for you.
So is there any other summer internships except this one?
Yes, several institutes have the summer internship, including ISER. It is separate from the Indian Academy of Sciences, SRFP. So you can apply in ISER summer internship too. Why not? You have to look for various institutes summer internship, and even VISL, that is virtual summer internship with a science leader, our program. That is completely virtual though. Yeah.
Sir, I have heard about one research fellowship program type like CSIR NEST.
What is your question again?
Sir, I have heard about such research program like CSIR NEST, one summer research program type, that is CSIR NEIST. Sir, is it also?
Yes, CSAR also have got a kind of a virtual internship. Yes, CSAR has got their this one centralized program. I think they started this year, and I'm not really sure. Is it NEST? NEST is, I think, it's a National Institute of Science and Technology in Trivandrum, as per my understanding. Over to Dr. Nitin. You can add some more points about CSAR.
Yeah, I think NIST is a laboratory, and they might have their own research internship program. So I think nowadays all of the CSIR, as a part of the skill development, they have started this research internship, as well as kind of demonstration and all. So maybe it would be nice if you can visit the individual CSIR laboratory web pages. And I think on the main screen you will get such kind of information if it is there.
Yes, so yeah, like that, there's several CSIR institutes like in NIO Goa or CSMCRI. They must be having their own summer internships as well. Why not? You can contact them directly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I was also invited, to deliver a talk in some of the skill training workshops. So they do conduct this kind of workshop. Like CSMCRI is arranging, seaweed cultivation and farming workshop for the farmers, who are residing near the coastal area. So depending on the issue, I think all the CSI workshop and the problem.
Yeah, so I can see one of the questions is about elaborate on PhD from Germany. Yeah, Germany is, of course, there is one of your senior, Sahil Narwal. You can ask him. He's in second year. It's to get into the PhD in Germany. There are many options. One option is Marie Curie Fellowship. Marie Curie is a centralized fellowship for the EU countries, including the Germany. And if you get into the Marie Curie scholarship for the PhD, then you can go to the Germany. And of course, there are other options also for the PhD in Germany. For example, Max Planck institutes have got International Max Planck, school. So a Max Planck school, you can apply for it and then get into the Max Planck school. It's not only for the Max Planck Institute, but also for, the universities, top universities. And also, of course, if you get in, if you're a minority, SC, ST or OBC, I think, OBC, I'm not sure, but SC, ST, there is a Ministry of Social Justice Overseas Fellowship. You can apply for it. So that you can get admitted in, so all these are options for you to go to the Germany. But if you don't get this prestigious scholarship, and still you can simply approach the professors in Germany, because many of these professors are they have very well funded, so they must be having independent scholarship for to hire a PhD student. So all these are options for you. So as the time is really too much, so I think we should conclude the session. So let us have, a lot of questions are there, so we can have a additional session also. It depends upon, if you participants would like to have additional career guidance sessions like this. So yeah, the YS series will be happy to have that as well. Anybody else would like to add some comments, final words? Professor Arunkumar, over to you, sir. Would you like to say a few words?
Really, actually, this program is, I think, very useful to the students, because I didn't hope this much information you would cover. Really, I am very happy. I think this give a lot of confidence to the students, this program. As you said that we can, in between also we can arrange one program. Because my
definitely.
students, my students, most of them are not participated, because you informed in the last minute. So I put it in the WhatsApp.
Yes,
I don't know.
yes.
Only few students are attending. So we hope that we can conduct one more program in the next December end, like that. So the students will get.
We can have a new program.
Yes. Because the
we can definitely have another
MOOC registration also, I think they are going to launch on January. Before that, we can have this program, because you covered all the information available, and I think this give confidence to the students. This kind of information give confidence to botany students, especially. They can go any field. This kind of information you have given, I think, I hope that the students will get a lot of confidence by this lecture given by you. I also really thankful to you being part of this program. Thank you so much. We will meet again by having
thank you,
this
sir.
meeting once again.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Definitely, sir. Yeah, sure. Okay, for other participants, so there is a link which I shared, and that is the archived version of this talk. And this is going to be there forever. If you want to watch this video once again, you are welcome to click on that link, and you are welcome to share this link with anybody, like your classmates or so on. So all these things which we have already covered in this session will not be repeated again, and we will cover new sessions. And we can also invite some industry participants, what they expect in a candidate. All these things we can plan it later. Okay, so please save that link. It is in the chat box of the Zoom, and that is the same thing which I've already shared in the Facebook as well. Some of you came through the Facebook, so whoever is watching it in the live, so we are going to have once again the session, and you are welcome to join our Facebook group and pose any of the questions that you would like to hear from us, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you so much. And Dr. Nitin, would you like to add some points, final words? Please unmute. Yeah, it's muted.
So at the end, I just want to thank you, for, as we all are, every Saturday, Sunday, we are meeting and, sharing, trying to arrange the talks and all for benefiting the students. So I do not have much to add, because this is a kind of, a daily kind of activities for us. But yes, I sincerely request all the students, try to use this opportunity because when we were doing our PhD, we were not having such kind of platform, where we got this information and all. So whatever we have done, we have done through, learning and all. So trial and error basis we have done. And if you have these platforms, please utilize this platform and do some good research and get success in your field. So that's it from my side. And thank you, Dr. Felix, for arranging this session specifically on the botany.
All right, so let's conclude the session. Thanks everybody, and I will see you again.